Up in lane 5, Louisa Sweeney is the coxswain, a freshman from Seattle. Elsa Hintz is in the stroke seat, a freshman also from Seattle. Molly Ewing in seat 7, a senior from Nottingham, New Hampshire. In seat 6, freshman from Shaker Heights, Ohio, Catherine Schmidt-Palumbo. In seat 5, Cameron Carter, a junior from Dallas. In seat 4, Molly Friedman, a freshman from Park City, Utah. In seat 3, it's Elena DeAngelis, a freshman from Glen Cove, New York. Sarah Porter is in seat 2, a sophomore from Newport Beach, California. And Rivas Zellers is at the bow, a sophomore from Indianapolis. We'll introduce you to the St. Joseph's Hawks in just a moment, but first, let's show you St. Joseph. Course correction there. The coxswain is C.C. Sarnowski, a junior from Layton, Pennsylvania. Maeve O'Connor is the stroke. She's a freshman from Philadelphia. Another freshman, Kylie Canning, is in seat 7. She's from Charlestown, Rhode Island. Emily Klein in seat 6, a freshman from Avondale, Pennsylvania. In seat 5, Allison Lee, a freshman from Port Republic, New Jersey. In seat 4, Lauren Leibiger, a freshman from North Wales, Pennsylvania. In seat 3, it's Alexa Rogers, a freshman from Westchester, PA. In seat 2, it's Victoria Puzangera, a freshman from Westchester, Pennsylvania. And at the bow, it's Michaela Kowalski, a freshman from Ambler, Pennsylvania.
As you'd expect, there's you see the lane assignments, middle of your screen, URI and George Washington. Off to the early pace set. George Washington had to recover a little bit. They were nudging to the right. They got very close to URI, not vertically, but horizontally, almost the oars touching. So they had to get back centered in their lane. That's allowed Rhode Island to get off to this early lead. And this will be the big question. Can someone challenge one of these two crews in these varsity 8s? URI and George Washington, so dominant in the heats. Can a team like UMass, can a team like St. Joe's come up and pressure as it's URI's through 500?
It's the Rams, then the Revolutionaries trailing by about 3 seats, and then half a boat length behind GW Fordham. St. Joseph's in 4th place, and they currently have a few seat edge on UMass. And at the bottom of your screen, you get a look at LaSalle is just lost contact with UMass, currently running in 6th of this group, but the margin continues to be close to 3 seats for URI over George Washington. This race a year ago, it was URI over UMass by just over 4 seconds. GW finished in 3rd place. They were 7 seconds back, and that was costly in terms of a silver medal. They lost that 2nd place position by just 1 point to UMass, so every position so important. URI trying to set the tone for their varsity 8 coming up and try and book another trip back to the NCAA Championship Regatta at the end of the month. But you're seeing a little bit of momentum here from GW as they've taken another seat away from the Rams.
Was about half a shell, but George Washington has gotten into that 3-4 seat area as now just watching on their back. Here's UMass trying to make a push. UMass cut through that open water. Good staggering here. It's not open water 1 through 5. Everyone is connected. There isn't a massive gap anywhere. So we will see as George Washington closer and closer to URI right now.
Rams can sense it, and they're staying a hold of that 1st place position and maybe now have grown it a seat or 2 in the last moment. But for George Washington, they faced URI just a couple of weeks ago at Eastern Sprints, and they finished just in front of Rhode Island by about 7 seconds. We talked to Paul Albright about that with regard to his first varsity 8, and he didn't want to talk about it too much, but you take a look at what these crews did. It was in the 2nd varsity 8, URI was in the 4th level final at Eastern Sprints. They finished in 4th overall. GW was in the petite final, and they finished 5th in the petite final, so a much better finish in the 2nd varsity 8 for GW than URI. But here in this race, URI turning the tables in the 2nd varsity 8, and they jumped out to the lead. They maintained it to some degree, still have work to do, but it's been very entertaining. And you were right about UMass, the way they've been able to come back after it looked like they were going to be an afterthought, maybe fighting for a third place position. They have designs on getting into the top two.
And making up ground on George Washington, and URI is also starting to make up some ground and re-extend things away from George Washington. And Eric Karsich, head coach of UMass, talking about this second varsity 8. Said, joyful group, they love to break down their rowing to the smallest of details to find the most boat speed, and it's a ton of detail. So maybe sometimes it could be paralysis by analysis, but not for this UMass team. They're doing whatever they can through their catches, their drives, those little details to try and get that much better. But it looks like a good recovery here from George Washington.
Evenly spaced boat length lead, URI to GW. These are the standings, and that's after the petite final that we had earlier. So Duquesne in first place for now, but that's not going to stay this way because UMass at 9 points. They led after the first petite and grand final combination, and these are going to change. These are up to the moment's standings, but the winner of this race gets 18 points. So if Rhode Island wins this one, they would be up to 25 points, and obviously would be well in front of the Dukes and the rest of the field. That George Washington boat, this second varsity 8, it's been all about development, says Paul Albright. They've had serious momentum the last few weeks, and they're hoping that they can take it down the course. But Rhode Island, they've got some momentum as well. Got a couple of rowers who were in the varsity 4 last year, in Jasmine Hayes, who's stroking this group, and Emma Brookins, the captain. And they are stroking this Rhode Island squad to an advantage. There may not be enough Cooper River left here for George Washington to take a bite out of this URI lead. And certainly they are not willing, GW, to cede any ground to UMass, as that margin is about a boat length.
You can tell the grit right now. Just watch from the catch as they drive through how much is coming out for both of these teams. This is the sprint sequence. URI with enough.
Rhode Island rams its way to a win in the second varsity 8, followed closely by the Revolutionaries, and then UMass a boat length back to claim bronze in the 2v8. And it will be Fordham claiming 4th place, and 5th place looks like it will go to LaSalle at the bottom of your picture, and St. Joe's will take 6th place here in this group. The second varsity 8, what a race, and what a great job by Rhode Island to hold off the challenge from GW. We've got varsity 8 action coming up after this.